jutro, which is good morning in Bulgarian.
Dobar den, which is good day in Bulgarian.
Čestita Nova Godina,
which means Happy New Year.
We hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and enjoyed it as well as you could.
Absolutely. It's been a bit different this year, but it's been quite good out here. So
yeah, we've had a lovely peaceful time. Weather's been fantastic. We've had sunshine most days, and we've just had a really peaceful time.
Yeah.
We loved speaking to all our family on Christmas Day and New Year's Eve, which was great.
Yeah.
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 That's about as much interaction with the kids as that once. Our alcohol was made in time for Christmas, and there is a short video on that. We made gin, apple pie, which is a kind of type of moonshine, flavoured with apple juice.
Yeah, and some honey bourbon, of course. And
yeah, the obligatory honey bourbon, which we did drink toast the New Year in with yesterday.
Well, you have to, don't you? Now that the wash has fermented out, it's time to distill. This is to get the alcohol out of the wash. Currently it's around about 12%. We're aiming to get somewhere around about 95%. The wash is placed in the main body of the boiler, brought to the boil where the steam rises up the column, is cooled with cold water which condenses and drips into the demijohn. This process is completed 3 times, which means that the alcohol is triple distilled. The hydrometer shows that the level of alcohol is at 92%. Once this has been corrected for a temperature variance, we actually have 94% alcohol. We use an air stone to aerate the alcohol for around about an hour. This drives off some of the alcohol vapours and produces a cleaner product. We now filter the alcohol. It goes through a ceramic filter to remove impurities in the water, and a carbon filter which removes some of the odour and some of the off flavours. Now that the alcohol is filtered, it's ready for producing the final drinks. Here are the different botanicals to make our gin. We have juniper berries, coriander seeds, and a few other ingredients which make up the distinct flavour. I use a coffee grinder to lightly grind the botanicals. This releases the flavour as well as the aroma. The botanicals don't need to be fully ground up, just enough to release the flavour. We're now ready to charge the still. In the bottom we put some copper and some boiling pieces. This protects against boiling issues when the alcohol comes to the boil. We then add hot water and the alcohol. Once this is done, we're ready to add the botanicals. I use what's known as a Sputnik. This goes into the still and holds the botanicals above the liquid. It keeps them in the vapour trail so that the steam extracts the flavours. Once they're in, the lid goes on and we're ready to start distilling. This still uses air to cool the liquid rather than water. It's known as an air still for that reason. This also means you can use it anywhere. The alcohol coming out is now flavoured and is gin. This is collected in a jug until we have 750 millilitres or a bottle's worth. That will produce gin at around 42% proof. All that's left to do then is put it in a bottle, allow the flavours to combine for a few days, and it's ready to drink. You can drink it straight away, but it's better if you leave it. And here we have the gin, the honey bourbon and the apple pie.
We spent quite a bit of time reflecting last night on just how much has changed in the last year for us in terms of last New Year's Eve we were sitting in Skelmersdale with no intentions of really being anywhere else the following year, and this year on New Year's Eve we're sitting in Bulgaria.
With no intention of going anywhere else.
Hopefully we won't have to. But yes, quite a big move for us this year, but one so far that we've got absolutely no regrets over. Yeah, given all the difficulties of last year, we actually managed quite a lot. So I think to have moved out here, to have visited, found a house, moved out, and got as far as we've got so far.
Yeah, we've done a fair bit around here, obviously preparing ourselves for winter. There's a lot of work to do this year, but we knew that.
Yeah, and financially, with that, we're a bit on hold now until March or April, when we get a further injection of money. So it's just keeping our heads above water.
Keeping warm, keeping safe.
Yeah, we'll do that. And hopefully getting Max out here.
Yes.
Again, that's all going to be permitting down to COVID. We've had quite strict restrictions here on people coming into the country unless they've got residency cards. So Adam could go back and get him, but they may not let him back in when he gets here.
So we have to wait
until we're going to have to wait till that's currently in place for the 31st of January. And hopefully it'll be...
But as we know, these things change almost on a daily basis, so we'll just play it by ear.
We also start this new year without any transport. Again, that'll probably stay like that until March or April.
Yep, Terry is retired.
And we will be braving Targovishny by bus this coming week.
I'm so looking forward to that.
Yes, Adam's made up, you can tell.
Yes, but it's got to be done, so... I was tempted to let Lynn go and see what it was like first.
That may still happen, I suspect.
If I can get away with it. Yeah, so we'll have to see what the bus to Targovishny and back again is like. It does mean we have to properly plan our shopping. Because obviously we're carrying everything. So
yes, that'll be a turn up for the books, won't it?
No impulse buying.
No impulse buying. It'll be 40 years that we've not been able to just bung it in the car and come home.
So yeah, there's a bit of planning involved, but we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll update you on our progress with that next week.
Yes, that'll be entertaining.
Ziggy and Major Tom have made friends now and quite happily both wander around the garden together. Though she's still a little bit nervous of him if there's food around, because he gets quite territorial about his food dish.
Absolutely. And Major Tom has tried to venture into the house until he sees one of us and then he runs out again.
And he will now let me stroke him. But that's only happened in the last day or two. It's taken 2 weeks before he's allowed me to stroke him.
Yeah.
Unlike Ziggy, who doesn't seem to want to ever stop a stroking.
As you can see.
But she's fully recovered from her cold now. And is doing quite well.
Yeah. Only gets upset with us when we go to bed.
Yeah.
And we have to lock her out of the bedroom.
We do have a nightly battle of can we both get into the bedroom without her. She's getting quite crafty about how she gets in there.
So far we're winning.
So far. I don't think it's going to last.
So that's it from us this week. We haven't done an awful lot this week, but you don't between Christmas and New Year.
No, and over the next few weeks we probably won't have a great deal of movement on the house front. As I say, it will be preparing ready for when we can afford to get the materials we need to do the major refurbishment in April.
More cleaning, tidying and organising.
Yes, more of that.
And I might make more bookshelves. Who knows?
Boot rack, Adam.
A boot rack. No, that could be next week.
A boot rack. And
you'll be pleased to know the invention's back.
Which you'll see at the end of the video.
Just leaves us to say
Doskoro.
Doskoro. And we'll speak to you next week.
We'll speak to you next week.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
My invention this week is a device to make my life easier when I'm doing certain jobs around the house. I've made it from various bits of wood, but do you know what it is? Okay, here's a clue. You use it with a ladder. Now I find when I'm working up a ladder, more often than not, the tool I need is back down on the ground. Well, with this device, I don't need to keep going up and down my ladder. With my ladder shelf, not only does it prop the ladder away from the wall, but it also gives you somewhere to put your tools while you're working. Once in position, it's secure and up you go. Now the shelf will hold all the necessary bits and pieces for the job you're doing. There are some holes for holding hammers, there are hooks for your drill, your tape measure. Everything you could possibly need you have within easy reach. The hammers are now in position in their holes, along with the drill and the screwdriver bits that I will be using. There's your tape measure. Everything in easy reach so that you can do the job without having to go up and down your ladder. Now, I'm not actually drilling into the wall, I'm sure you knew that. But just to show you how it works, I can change from drill bit to screwdriver bit. So far, I haven't had to go down the ladder. This will just hang on the side. What shall I use next? A hammer? Maybe a tape measure. There's no leaning back to make the job easier. I'm at a safe distance from the wall. You do need to pre-plan to know what tools you'll need, but once you've got them up there, you don't need to come down your ladder until you're finished. When your legs get to the same age as mine, you'll appreciate that. So that's it, my ladder shelf for holding my tools and making it easier for me to work.
And there is a short video of what we made with it.
That was
the cat jumping off the windowsill.
Noisy.
We also have the joy of not having any transport.
Yes, Terry is retired.
Terry has officially retired.
Oh, the cat's going. The cat's
yeah.
going. Oh, there she goes.
Can't.
Vampire cat. Goes for the neck.
I've totally got now.
Now that Adam's made friends. Doesn't sound like me at all.
There's just bits you can add in on me.
Well.
Well.
And you wouldn't. Can't do it.
What?
I don't know. I was just going to go so those padding filling bit. Yeah. Meanwhile.
And then.
And would you believe it?
This happened.
Enough of that. Now this.